According to its website, La Linea's Alcaidesa Marina is a privileged leisure port, located just 10 minutes walk from the Gibraltar airport, but it's arguably closer than it should be. In the early 80s, the Spanish authorities built the mole which extends west from the access road used to drive round the La Linea loop on your way into Gibraltar. More recently, they've reclaimed land north of that mole. But this up-to-date chart shows that both the mole and the reclaimed land are in an area considered to be under British sovereignty by the United Nations. The chart reveals a potentially complicated pocket of Gibraltar waters inside the La Linea Marina. It also highlights a larger area of Spanish waters close to Western Beach. GBC has referred this matter to the Convent and is awaiting an official line from the Foreign Office, who have released new data on incursions for 2013, showing that the month following the sinking of the artificial reef saw the highest number of illegal incursions into local waters. October was the second busiest month. A spokesperson for the Foreign Office reiterated that the Royal Navy upholds British sovereignty by challenging all unlawful incursions by vessels of the Spanish state through radio warnings.
You are to cease your current actions and leave British Gibraltar Territorial Waters immediately. Acknowledge. Over.
And the close monitoring of all such vessels until they leave British Gibraltar Territorial Waters. And that is where the Gibraltar Squadron comes in.
Scimitars we're now in the Western Beach area, which is a particularly significant area within British Gibraltar Territorial Waters. Why? Well, that's because back in July, this is the area where the artificial reef was laid back on July the 25th. A particularly memorable day. It was Scimitar herself who was out here, and during that day, in this area, exactly where we are now, it's quite a big area. The tug was out laying the 70-odd concrete blocks, and RNGS, working with the GDP and the RGP, made sure that the tug was able to safely do that. At times it was quite tense. There were a lot of Spanish fishing vessels here, and also some Guardia Civil vessels. But we managed throughout the day to get the blocks laid safely. No one was hurt, so it was a really successful day. But look around. It's not a particularly big area, and at times there were over 12 different vessels all jostling for position as the tug tried to lay the block. So it was really tense, some quite tense moments.
How difficult is it in a situation like that to ensure that there is no contact and that things don't escalate?
It is difficult. We rely on our seamanship skills and our navigation knowledge. And my absolute number one priority is safety, and that's for everyone out here, because we don't want anyone to get hurt.
And this is an area now that forms part of your daily routines?
That's correct, yeah. Every day, either Scimitar or her sister HMS Sabre will come out and spend part of her patrol up here. And also our Royal Navy ribs do 3 or 4 patrols every day, and they always come up here as well to show the flag and show a presence.
And the area is clearly demarcated on your maps?
It is, yeah. I can show you on our navigation system. There's been an update to the actual navigation chart showing the 700-yard by 300-yard area that's now covered by the reef, which is right below us right now.
It's quite a large area, actually.
Huge area, yeah. Well, in sea terms, it's not great, but
yeah.
Actually in land terms, it's like the size of 10 football pitches. So it's quite a big area.
The IMO-approved chart used by the Navy's Gibraltar Squadron highlights the complicated nature of the demarcation lines separating British and Spanish waters. The Foreign Office has reiterated that they do make formal diplomatic protests to the Spanish Ministry of Foreign Affairs about all incursions into Gibraltar waters. It says that although these are a violation of British sovereignty, they're not a threat to it and do not change international law or the fact of UK and Gibraltar jurisdiction. The UK government is adamant that incursions do not weaken or undermine the legal basis for British sovereignty over Gibraltar territorial waters, wherever their boundaries may be.